cinephiles, freaks, and weirdos, tape heads, ghouls, and ghosts love to tune in and listen to Psychotronic Coast to Coast. Skin Slip and Owen Neal are going to reveal their thoughts on movies that most people don't dare to watch. Psychotronic. 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 And welcome back to another Psychotronic Coast to Coast. Those who are joining, us live will note that we are late, way later than normal, but this is actually our original time we used to do the show, actually, oddly enough.
I was playing video games.
Yep, it's 4 a.m. there right now, right?
Yep.
Yep, all right, there you go, coast to coast. There's only 1 a.m. here. We originally were going to watch Cocaine Wars, as noted if you were a serial watcher and watched us to the end last week. But, well, our copy, which was not a legal one, because the Blu-ray is prohibitively expensive, so we were watching a YouTube stream, and it was so dark and unwatchable, we had to choose a different movie. So we picked, well, I should say, Owen here picked Eliminators from 1986. Which is something that I had planned to do all of these movies, in fact, on the show at some point.
I got it too.
Yeah, ooh, look at that. Yeah, how much did you pay for yours? $3?
$3 at Big Lots.
$15, like 5 years ago. I don't know when this came out. 2013.
Sucker.
Like 3 years ago, I'd say. A sucker, sure. Yeah, but I also have all the volumes. I have both sci-fi, both horror, both action, and there's one more. There's another pair. There's like 8 of them. I have all 8. And there's some Kung Fu ones, but I don't have those. Beautiful
full frame 4x3.
Yes, which I believe this was originally shot in, and it looked like it was 1.85 safe, or like a 16:9 safe. So you could have cut off the head and foot of both of the image for most of it, and it would have looked fine. Though I noticed in some shots it was composed high on the frame, but you can slide that fucker, so it's not really a big deal.
PG, so you can show it to your kids.
Yep. There wasn't any blood, right?
Nah, they were shooting lasers.
Like, yeah, it was lasers. There was some. There may have been like some mouth spit blood, but like, come on, mouth spit blood's not blood. Mouth spit blood you can show in kids shows, man.
I don't remember any blood. I think they just would fall over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. There were some explosions.
So there was a little blood when the doctor was shot when you were gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit, but I mean, that's why it's PG, not G, right?
I think he was shot with a gun, so.
Yeah, so this says, oh god, I'm about to sneeze, aren't I? Of course. There's your bonus for YouTube. That's unedited for everyone who watches these unedited.
I didn't know what was going on.
My nose was like, you're going to sneeze, and then nothing happened. It's one of those where you feel it coming and it just kind of passes you by. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So this has a Mandroid in it, which is very similar to the movie Mandroid. And also, this is the main inspiration for the movie Manborg, which we will also be covering on this show at some point. Which we both also own, in fact. And it's also similar to the Vindicator suit, all of which were done by Charles Band, I think, except for Manborg, which was an Astron 6, production. So, this was all shot in Spain, also. And we're pretty sure some of the costumes were holdover from America 3000.
It was supposed to be, they were supposedly in Mexico, but everyone was like white rednecks.
They could have been in Louisiana or Alabama or Mississippi, and I wouldn't have noticed the difference except for the fact that it looks kind of desert. They could have been in Texas. I would have been like, oh, okay.
And I like on the back where it's explaining what it is. It's a mandroid, and he seeks revenge on the scientist that created him, enlisting the help of a beautiful woman and a mysterious ninja.
Ignores
Never mentions the boat guy.
Yeah, and the ratty boat guy, exactly. Poor ratty
Also
boat
the
guy. He
fact
gets left out of everything.
he didn't want to enlist anyone. He was going to go by himself, and she insisted she went. And
Yeah,
then he
it's
randomly ran into the ninja.
Yeah,
So,
he saved him and got him out of the pickle. Yep.
the back is bullshit.
Well, and so's the front too. To be fair, the cover's bullshit too. The cover is less bullshit though, but I'd like to point out that it looks like a comic book movie, and they mentioned that this is all out of a comic book. I'm fighting with a ninja and a cyborg and a crazy lady, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this was some sort of comic book movie style attempt. For some reason. Anyway, the character, the main Borg in this movie inspired the X-Men character Bone Crusher, for anyone who's interested in a little bit of reverse. So it's a movie inspired by comic books that inspired a comic book. So there you go, a movie inspired by comics, inspiring comics. That's how meta. And then I bet that fucking Bone Crusher character will eventually inspire some movie, and not this movie, but the comic book character. And you're like, son of a bitch. I rambled. Want to take us through the plot?
Sure.
All right.
I can remember. We see there's a plane crash. And then all of a sudden this cuts to some scientists doing scientist stuff.
Yeah, white lab coat and everything.
Get our glimpse of the mandroid. And it really was clipping along there, because all of a sudden he's trying to escape, and one of the doctors is helping him. The scientist is helping him.
Well, he was turned on, and he was doing a test run, and then I guess he overheard the guy talking about like his evil plan to use him to take, because originally the mandroid was supposed to go back in time to take over ancient Rome, so that guy could rule, like some weird
flashbacks.
fucko. And he was having so it's not super clear in the movie, but I understand it now. What he was having is flashbacks of the past that he hadn't gone and done yet. So in the future, he goes back to the past and kills a bunch of Romans, and he's remembering that in the present, that he's going to go do that in the past, which triggers him to do all this. That's when he decides to escape.
Yeah.
It's not the most well thought out explanation.
And they stick him on his mobile unit, which he takes his legs off, and he's sticking out of the front of this, like, it's almost like an ATV, but it has tank tracks.
Yeah. Yep.
It's slow and awkward as shit, so I didn't get the point of it. But
it's all train. It's more capable of climbing shit than feet, probably.
Not really, as we see later. But
well, that's the idea. Execution's another thing.
He's putting along out of the building with that, and his bad guy's sent after him, obviously, to stop him. The main bad guy says, "You're programmed to do what I tell you. You killed the doctor." He refuses, and he shoots everyone else, but the doctor does get hit and dies. And he slowly scuttlebutts out of there in his little tank tracks. And then he hides it, as he says, but it's literally just parked by a tree, not far from the building. Puts his legs off, and he heads out, and he seeks out this woman, doctor.
Oh, he goes
scientist.
back to he goes...
I assume back to America.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the lady.
She built a little teeny robot that flies around.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'll find it out 1 second.
It makes beeps and boops, but she understands it. He sneaks in, he knocks out some guards with some knockout gas that he has, like he's the Joker or something. Spraying them.
Pretty much.
And then when he uncloaks, he takes off his poncho. She realizes, hey, that's my tech. Where'd you get that? And the bad guy's name is Reeves, right?
I think so. That sounds familiar. I don't remember anyone's fucking name, honestly. It's the first
I
thing that
think
goes
it's
out of my brain.
Reeves.
There's character names.
Because he's like, Reeves made me. And she's like, but Reeves died 5 years ago. I was like, no, he's not. Remember, he was hooked up to the machine with like glowing tubes into him and he was all fucked up. And at the end, he looked pretty normal, except for his, robot suit or whatever it was, robot outfit.
Yeah,
But yeah, so she
seem to find the
she
name.
fixes his brain because he was shot in the head and his circuit boards. And then he says he's going back down there to kill him. She wants to go. He says no, but then he breaks down some more and she fixes him. So she's like, "You need a mechanic."
Oh God, that's right.
So off to Mexico they go. They get in a little town. They need somebody. They need a guide to go to uncharted areas, which I pointed out didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%. That is correct. It did not make any fucking sense. How would it be
you know as
uncharted if
much
he
as like,
knows about it? It's not. It's charted then. That's what you're saying.
other than he would probably know what the local stuff was, but as we soon find out, this guy doesn't know shit.
Yep. He's
Because he
along
clearly
for the ride
knows.
because he's a fucking con man, basically.
Yeah, he thinks there's gonna be treasure, which they kind of tell him that too.
Well, no, I believe don't they just let him believe it? They just don't correct him.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can have a third of it. We don't. What treasure?
because
We're not sure. But
when we see him right off the bat, he's in a bar and a woman comes in, and he's been undercutting everyone's business basically. Like, if it's $100 to go up the river, he'll do it for 50 or something. So he's stealing all the business in the town. Everyone's sick of his shit.
ow.
That's when she walks in, wants a boat driver, wants the toughest guy in the bar. So the woman punches someone. There's this giant bar brawl with some silly music playing over it. And their boat guy doesn't do anything until the end when he knocks the woman out. And then he comes out like if he had a fight. He even ripped his shirt a little bit, like, I was in a fight.
Yeah.
So they load up in his boat, take off. Although he's upset that there's the guys with him. At this point, he's wrapped up, so he doesn't know he's a man Borg or whatever they call him.
Yeah, he just looks like a weird creeper in a trench coat.
But they're going up the river, but all the other boats, big old boat chase comes up. And he blows up some gas and blows up one of the boats, which made me laugh because they clearly jumped out of the boat. Like, they had plenty of time to turn the boat before they hit the barrel, but they jumped out. Everyone else turns away. They don't even get like 50 yards up the water before the woman shows up again with their shotguns. But
Weird hillbilly guys. Oh.
yeah, the cyborg drops a torpedo because apparently he has torpedoes in his weapon arm.
For some reason, he's a land-based robot with a torpedo.
And it blows up their boat.
Oh,
and
let's not forget he's a land-based robot with fucking jet-powered legs that allows him to propel vehicles, but not himself.
We're not there yet.
I'm just saying, what the fuck?
I really wanted his feet to just start spinning like propellers.
That would have been amazing. I would have fucking died, but that would have been like, well, that's effective use of your feet. That'd be a smart. Or he just starts kicking his feet really quickly.
Yeah.
Dog paddles super fast.
That'd be
Jesus
great.
Christ. Just attach like a horse bridle to him and he'll just doggy paddle the boat with his mouth.
That'd have been good.
Or I don't know, since he can breathe, he doesn't need to breathe, maybe he can just go underwater and just push the boat or walk with the boat. Like shit. And then maybe yeah, anyway, that's later. Moving on.
Yeah. So they get somewhere, and then they're like, "We don't need you." She fires the boat guy. He gets all pissed off.
That's great.
The people, the woman and that guy, which was, I guess, like the odd couple. She was kind of like a big burly, what do they call her, Bayou Betty.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Like, they were all white Louisiana rednecks in Mexico, apparently. which then was shot in Italy. So who knows?
Shot in Spain,
Yeah,
next door,
same
but
difference.
no, it's the difference of about 1,000 miles, or 600 miles or something. It's a difference, man.
Either way, wrong people, wrong area.
Yeah, wrong fucking people.
And then she was with like, what was it, like a Frenchman with like a little tiny, like
Yes,
pep
I don't know
must.
why. Why was a French guy there? I don't even know. There's no explanation for that. He was just there. He was French for some
Yeah,
reason, and stereotypically so.
and like
Tiny,
really weak.
he had like a tiny fucking mustache and ascot on and shit. Like, what the fuck?
And then another boat pulls up with a big fat redneck guy, and I guess the other guy with him was supposed to be Mexican
I
because
suppose.
he spoke a little bit of Spanish.
I
Because
think so.
remember,
Yeah.
like they had writing on their boat, and he's like, "This is
Oh, Quo
Italian."
Vadis, which is like where are you going
It
or
means
whatever.
we, yeah. He's like, it means we kick ass.
It's Spanish for we it means kick ass, right? It's actually Latin for where are you going. It was on the side of a boat. It's kind of that's an inspirational thing to put on a boat. It doesn't mean we kick ass, you dumb fucking redneck.
But Bayou Betty tells him about how the
It's
guys
great.
with those people up the river, and then he leaves them in the water laughing at him.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another little bit of boat chase, and his plan is, hey, he's stuck in the water. Let's ram him with our much smaller
Lighter boat.
fiberglass speedboat.
They're gonna ram a much heavier, lower in the water boat made of denser materials and metal and shit with their fiberglass dinky wave runner that is like barely in the water. There's no mast to this thing. It's gonna strike the other boat and just like probably volley over it in some horrendous crash for them and minor or horrendous accident for the other boat, but like they're gonna be alive and the guys in the speedboat are gonna be dead because they're not
But it
buckled
was,
up at all. They're fucking
yeah,
dead.
it's all a ruse. He's not really trapped. He had it tied off, and he cut it, and then they hit a rock, and it jumped, and then they fell out, and then the boat was turning, and I was like, please tell me it's gonna run him over, but
Yeah.
instead it hit a rock and blew up.
Which, by the way, then led me down a rabbit hole on Google where I looked up incidents where guys got killed by the boat they were driving, including the guy who was killed by his twin brother driving the boat he was on.
Yeah.
That's like, wow, it's literally yourself killing yourself. That's fucked up. Anyway,
Maybe I'm just sick because I was also when he was heading towards Bayou Betty and her man, I was really hoping that he was gonna run them over too. Just and they're like, pick us up. Don't just
I
keep
know,
going.
right? Like, fuck this shit, Bubble. You guys failed me for the last time.
There was also like weird scenes of them swimming and talking. They're like, "We're done with this treasure hunting stuff. We're gonna move to Alaska."
Yeah. Like, isn't there a
This
show called
wacky
Treasure
odd
Hunters?
couple.
Isn't there a show called Treasure Hunters Alaska too? I'm just saying. It's Gold Diggers Alaska, Gold Rush or Alaska. Never mind. It's basically the same thing.
There's
So
a
they're
couple
gonna
different goat
go to a
shows.
different fucking treasure hunt.
Where's that movie? Those two up there in
I
Alaska.
know, right? Those bumbling
Jumping
idiots
claims.
fighting polar bears and shit. Oh god.
That wacky odd couple.
Trying to club seals and failing miserably, just hitting each other on accident. Jeez, I think we just found a much more entertaining movie than the one we just watched. Some Laurel Hardy shit right there.
I'm trying to remember what happens now. Oh, they find the plane crash. And I don't know why they even went to the plane crash, because he wanted to go, the cyborg. But then he's just like, I don't want to know what's...
Because what he wasn't on the plane, and I guess there was something there he was wanted. That part wasn't clear, but it was his plane at the beginning.
I think the plane was maybe close to where the bad guy was, so he wanted to find a plane, so then he could find where the bad guy was.
No, that's the plane he crashed at the very beginning of the movie.
I know, but I think he was nearby where the bad guy's place is. That's why he wanted to find it.
Oh, I guess so. But I don't know why she went into the cockpit. I don't remember why.
She wanted to, like, oh, we need to find out who you are, because he doesn't know who he is.
Oh,
He's
that's
like,
right,
nah,
right.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
So I have to assume there was maybe, like, somehow to track the plane, maybe like a black box type of thing. So we find a plane, we can find the bad guy. That's the only thing I can assume Because he didn't want anything in there, but she pulled out a picture of like a wife and kid. And
Wait, we
that's when
get
the
no
boat
other
guy
information
shows.
for.
Yeah, that's when the boat guy shows back up because it starts sinking, and like one little twig blocks the way she got in, and she couldn't get out.
A small minor branch she could have easily moved.
And he's like, "I want 1/3 the treasure," and she's like, "Okay."
Oh, I'd like to point out the mandroid tries to save her by like shooting a tow line onto the plane to try to keep it from sinking, which he's
Yeah.
successful on, but he can't rescue her either because he's stuck there and there's a boat barreling towards them. And they don't know what the intentions of the boat driver are, and so it's a really quote unquote tense scene. It wasn't really very tense. It wasn't exactly shot the best, but
Yeah.
when I just thinking like, why don't you instead let the thing sink, move the branch, and she can just swim out. She hold her fucking breath for 2 seconds.
I also like the point the branch was stuck in the very end of the hole, and she's in like the cockpit, and she looks like she tries to swim and it comes back up immediately. Like she doesn't even swim; she just like it's blocked. I'm like, she didn't even like get under the water to see that there was a stick blocking it.
Right? Like she didn't try at all. Just no try in this woman, none.
Or
Anyway,
like why he didn't just shoot the cockpit like in the
pull
front and blow it
the
open.
thing off. I don't know. At least he was holding it by the cockpit. There's a chance he'd rip the canopy off and free her, right?
You know why? Because they needed the boat guy to come back into the picture.
Yeah. And I'm guessing
So now-
that the tank treads didn't work, which is why we left them at the beginning of the movie, and we only have them for a short while later.
No, they come back at the end.
Yeah, but we only have a very short scene with them, which I bet they filmed early on in production, and that's why we don't see it for the whole fucking movie. I bet you the whole him putting his legs on was elaborately invented because the thing didn't work very well.
You're thinking he was supposed to never have legs?
Yes, I think he was supposed to always have the wheels, but then they found out that thing was faulty as fuck, and they got inventive and said, well, fuck it, you put some legs on and use those for the rest of the movie. Like, alright, well, have him crash here, then he put his legs on, and we'll come pick it up for that one sequence where he needs it, because there's probably that whole sequence later on when we see it, is probably written that way, and like, well, he kind of needs it for that sequence, well, they can just find them again. That's probably what happened. Yep, almost sure of it.
They're boating along, and I forget why, but him, the cyborg, and the little robot fall in the water. They hit something.
I think they hit something, yeah.
And then it doesn't really show you much time passing. Like it shows he's been scuba diving down or like snorkeling down trying to find him.
It implies passing of time, but it's not.
And then they're just like, "Fuck it, let's go."
It implies that he took the time to go down and look for him. We can't find him. So.
Yeah. He'd want us to continue his mission, which I don't even know if her mission was the same. Like he wanted to just go kill the guy that made him.
I think because he's gonna take over Rome, I guess.
Apparently, she knew. See that none of that was clear to me that she knew
until the end when he reiterated for us his evil plan.
Yeah. So they just leave.
Which almost feels like they shot the movie and went, none of this is clear. Maybe we should have the evil villain say it all out at the end, and then they shot that scene.
Yeah. So his boat breaks down again. We didn't mention before, but his boat's kind of shitty.
Kind of.
It breaks down. So he's dragging it. The water's almost like waist deep. He's pulling it along, and then all of a sudden he sinks. He disappears. And then a bunch of cavemen looking Neanderthal.
The description calls them cavemen.
Yeah. Cavemen come out, jump on the boat. He's in a trap apparently that was underwater. Like, I don't know what they were trying to trap. Like, we know a guy's going to be walking a boat through here.
Hold on. Got a fucking commotion going on. Like, not that, had that in the podcast. 1 second, let me... Fuck's sake, stop carrying on with the dog. Ignore him. Oh my god. Nope, she's treating it like it's a small child. Like it's gonna understand English. The dog just wants to be left alone because it's an abused dog. We rescued it. It doesn't like people. I'm right back. Sorry. I know it's late. Stop bothering the dog. Just let him be. I'm trying to record my podcast. So yeah, my
Right.
dad normally takes the dog upstairs, but he is camping and the dog doesn't want to be touched by anybody to go upstairs. So sorry about that, guys. All right, we continue.
Right. So yeah, they trap him.
In the cage, yes, and these are the cavemen I was talking about with them from they're clearly costumes left over from America 3000. So, or
Yeah.
these who were moved into America 3000, which has caveman people, which we're also going to cover on the show at some point.
They're supposed to be like a tribe that nobody's seen.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I wish I had my camera. So they have them all tied up. They're doing some type of thing where they're like, they weren't even tied up. I mean, they were, and then they like shoved them over. They put like necklaces on them and shoved them aside and just started throwing like smoke around.
Yeah, it wasn't very clear what was keeping them held
And the
back.
boat guy kisses her and empties some shells and her bullets into her hand to throw into the fire. And then they also at the same time, the cyborg comes out of the water, runs into a ninja. It's apparently the son of the doctor that was his friend that died. Just a random ninja.
Yep. Just out of nowhere, suddenly a ninja appears for no fucking reason. Oh, and then we get a scene in which the boat guy goes, "This is crazy. This is like a comic book. We got a lady and a cyborg and a ninja. What the heck's going on?"
Not quite. We gotta talk about the caveman fight.
Yeah, that too. But still, I'd like to point out that that scene happens after this whole sequence.
Yeah, they start
Action.
punching cavemen. The ninja shows up, starts nunchucking cavemen in the face.
Fucking great.
The cyborg shoots one little blast and makes one run away, and then they're just like, "Hey, we're all back together. By the way, this is the scientist's son. Let's go." And that's when he does his whole thing, like, and then he's gonna leave. He's like, the book guy's like, "I'm done. This is nuts. This is a comic book."
Yep.
And then the girl's like, "You need to sit a spell. I'm gonna yarn you a tale," which we don't see because it just cuts back. But he's like, "What is this? A sci-fi movie?"
Right? It was like, oh god.
Yeah. It is on the sci-fi movie marathon pack.
So yeah, and there's a fucking cyborg you're walking around with. Yeah, it's a sci-fi movie, you asshole. There's a cyborg.
Whatever yarn she spun got him to come back.
We don't get to see it, thankfully.
They head off on their adventure to
where
he's like,
it was more interesting than watching two cyborgs shoot at each other.
He's like, "This is where I hit it," which was the tank track treads, which was just parked by a tree. Which you would think they could have easily just followed the treads down to where he parked it. It must have left tracks the whole way.
That thing weighs a couple 100 pounds easy.
We also should mention beforehand, the fat redneck guy works for the evil scientist, and when he showed up, this evil scientist just had his arm working and was like zapping him in the dick and choking him with it.
It was so great. He shoots lightning at his dick. It's great. It looks like he gives him an orgasm.
And then he's like, "All right, boss, I'll head back out."
So bizarre, man.
I figured I'd mention that because they show up on three-wheelers with guns on them.
Mad Max three-wheelers, yeah.
Yeah, they had like a mesh windshield, which you could clearly see was mesh with holes in it.
They look like they're cast-offs from Death Sport. In case you're curious where they look like they're from.
But it can block the cyborg's lasers.
But this wasn't Roger Corman. This was Empire Pictures, so it wasn't actually from Death Sport. Probably some Empire Pictures film used three-wheelers, and they just put guns on them and called it a day.
Roger Corman produced it.
Oh, did he? Yeah, but he produced a lot of Empire Pictures films, so. Charles Band did all the legwork for those.
There's an awkward 3 AT-wheelers versus a tank tread cyborg chase.
The only other time we see the legs, the cyborg. The only other time we see the treads. Yeah.
Yeah, because he drives like up a tree and rolls on his side and then just jumps off it.
And I bet you that was an unplanned stunt, and that is why we never saw it in the rest of the movie, because they do the stunts first to make sure nothing goes crazy, right? To replace an actor.
It doesn't make sense because in the beginning he took him like along. It took him way too long for him to put one leg on and then the other leg on. This one, it turns sideways, and all of a sudden he's just standing up.
Yeah, he just suddenly got his legs on.
But they
Okay.
blow up all the three wheelers. Really, they like slowly like fall off a bank and then boom.
Classic 80s vehicle explosion, a delay, then explosion.
And then they go inside and they see all his Roman shit, and then he explains the Roman shit again, and it still didn't make any sense to me.
He wants
And
to
then
go back in time and rule and take over Rome. Because what'll happen is he takes over Rome. He lives for 1,000+ years. He uses all his science and he changes the entire course of human history.
Yeah.
So
then
I
they
guess that was his
decide
evil
to
plan.
split up. Cyborg's going to the front door, and they're wandering around out back or some shit.
Yeah.
But he comes in the courtyard, demands the guy give up. A bunch of guys come out with guns, surround him. They bring out his 3 new friends, tells them, you give up. And then he comes out as his new cyborg self, the evil cyborg. He's got a lot of red on him. He's holding a Roman shield.
It's got it's golden red armor. Yeah, he uses a Roman shield. He only uses to shoot lasers. Apparently, what? His shield shoots lasers, but isn't actually a shield.
His shield shot the bubble trap that we're gonna get to in a minute.
Yeah. That's but my point is
his arm shot lasers.
But like his fucking shield, it was a weapon, not a defense. He never used it to block anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my point. He had a shield that he uses as a weapon. Like what the fuck?
Because he knows he doesn't have to block anything, as we saw the world's shittiest cyborg fight, where they just kept shooting each other in the chest. They just
stood there and shot each other in the chest. It was the most undynamic fight ever.
It didn't hurt the evil one, but the good guy was not as good. So he's like, and they're like, oh, he's dead. So then he bubble traps those two, and apparently the trap's gonna shrink.
Yeah, it's gonna turn him into pulp him because it's gonna shrink.
I think it was just a reason to get the girl to bend over forward.
Oh God!
Because she was bent over, all awkward.
It was
the ninja was just crouched.
A terrible, cheap effect they could do, I think.
Yeah. But the good cyborg is not dead. He wanders over and shoves his arm in it, knowing it's gonna kill him. So now he's dead.
Dun dun dun.
So they rush in. The bad cyborg is in his trap, and he's warped through time. He's gonna end up in the Roman time. They failed. The boat guy makes a joke like, "Man, I wish I would have learned computers," and he like flicks the keyboard and then punches it, and then it shorts out, and then the timer goes way back.
So Silurian period, which is basically when it was primordial soup.
Yep. And then he gets out and apparently realizes it.
And of course, his time machine broke on entry, so it's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone too, because
he'll be gone in
like 10,000 years.
And then you could get some traveling footage of him. Like, man, did I miss Rome? Where is it? There's a lot of rocks here.
Yep, it's great.
I was hoping it was dinosaur time and dinosaurs would come out and rip them apart.
But... Oh, that's too high budget. That happened now.
No, you just have the little toys. Like,
it could be the Carnosaur from Carnosaur for 4 years later.
It's 2 people close to the camera just tipping them in.
God.
He's just like, no.
It's a hand puppet.
Might as well.
Jesus
Special effects
Christ.
instead of lasers drawn on film.
Dude.
So
our whole budget was those robot legs that they barely used. The wheels, man. That you can tell that's where most of the budget went for this movie. Was that tank treads, and then they didn't fucking use it because it didn't work.
Yeah, when he drove down the stairs, I thought for sure he was just gonna tip right onto his face and just gonna crush him in half.
I thought it was gonna fucking kill him. Yeah. Like, oh my God. Insanity.
It was just so slow, and the turning was, it's tank tread, so he's like, it's not smooth. So
one goes forward, one goes backwards. That's how you're supposed to turn.
Straighten it.
Yeah. Just fucking hell, man.
I wonder if that still exists somewhere.
What?
That
I'm sure.
Like, it's just in somebody's garage somewhere. Like, yeah, it's from Eliminators.
Yeah, it's probably like half broken and like the threads have deteriorated away. because it's rubber and you get new treads for it.
He'll show up with one of the Bruces from Jaws.
And then he'll combine and become an evil, terrorizing transformer that kills everyone. and that there. Oh my god! I just wrote a fucking horror movie where a prop house. It'd be Prop House Massacre. It would be Prop House Shark Massacre, and then what it is Bruce and the Eliminators robots can merge and the sentient AI that takes it over, and then goes on a killing spree and hunts them down like Jaws, but on land. Dudent.
And it works just as well as Bruce and this thing did, which is not half the time.
Yes, but so sometimes you can get away because it just stops working. Just Yay, I'm saved. Run away.
Put it in a mall and call it Chopping Mall too.
Chomping Mall. Oh shit, that's the shit right there. Chomping Mall. Oh god.
But yeah, that was the movie.
Somebody animate that. Please, somebody animate that.
The cyborg's gonna eventually die. Supposedly.
You mean the one stuck in the Silurian period?
Yep.
Well, yeah, its battery only lasts so long, and then the materials will deteriorate, and he's got like 5 billion years before humans show up. He's gonna be every atom that exists that makes him up will be completely gone by then.
Hey, Jimmy Neutron was stuck in dinosaur time, and his thing broke, and he still made one that got him back to normal times. So I think he's fine.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Jimmy Neutron told me so.
It must be true then. All right, so
like we did it, and then he just pops out of the ground below him.
You have a favorite part?
I don't know. I was pretty entertained. I don't know if the humor really hit.
No.
I mean, we laughed at stuff, but I think we laughed at stuff that wasn't supposed to be funny.
Yes, we laughed at stuff that definitely wasn't supposed to be funny, and laughed at none of the things that were supposed to be funny.
Although I did kind of chuckle at, like, we're moving to Alaska.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some moments, but I think my favorite part was the cage trap out of nowhere. Why was that exactly right there for him to?
Because they knew people would walk in the river at some point.
At some point, someone would go at this exact spot and get captured by my cage, and you guys laughed at me. Ha!
I also like I mean, I guess I don't know what's in Mexican rivers, but they're like, there's nothing in here but snapping turtles. I'm like, there's got to be something in there.
Giant catfish, probably, at least. Trout. Like,
if you go a little farther south, they have like caiman.
It's gotta be like crocs or alligators, one of the two, right? Saltwater croc, maybe freshwater croc. I don't know. I don't remember what we have here in the States. I think we have alligators in the States, in the continentals. So I think there might be alligators there, because drug cartel leaders had alligators, and those guys died, and the alligators got away. And I just now made a plot for Alligator 3. Look at that. Drug cartel versus an alligator.
I think overall it was pretty entertaining. The random ninja just threw me off.
Yeah, I know. Ninja out of nowhere. It was like an RKO out of nowhere. Like, what? Huh? I wasn't expecting that, but not in a good way.
We have a cyborg. We don't need a ninja.
Hell, there's a movie called Cyborg Ninja we should probably watch at some point. Anyway. So yeah. So you didn't have a favorite part? You just kind of enjoyed the movie overall?
Yeah. Nothing really jumped at me. I'm like, that's my favorite part.
Okay. What would you rate it?
I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a 3.
3 out of 5 for me as well.
Yep.
And,
I was entertained.
Next week we are watching this movie called Rot Gut, which was sent over by Camp Motion Pictures. I believe it's by the guy who did Slime City Massacre, which we were supposed to review on this, but they still haven't sent Owen a Blu-ray, so we can't watch it we can't do it on the show until he has a copy of the movie. Still, but
probably never will.
I'll mention it at the beginning of this episode of Rot Gut, so maybe Camp Motion Pictures will actually see it. since they'll probably retweet the episode we do Rot Cut on, and not this episode. So yeah, we're gonna do this movie Rot Cut, since we said we'd review it, and it's been a few months since then. We're bad at this stuff. What can I say?
You said we'd review it.
Yes, I agreed to review it. I didn't exactly say when, though. To be fair, I misplaced it for like 3 months. So, here it is. As soon as I found it, I put it on top of the pile. I don't know why. It's like one of those things where you pick it up and you move it to a place where you, oh, I remember it here specifically because I put it here. And then you forget about it and then it's lost until you magically, that's what happened. I put like a piece of paper on top of it and lost it. It was gone. It was gone.
I can't see it. It's gone.
It was down here. It was just covered like by a piece of paper, and I didn't know it was there for like 2 months. And then it was there, and I kept forgetting to move it. All right, so yeah.
Vomit in it.
No,
I don't like vomit.
I don't either.
Not even fake vomit.
Let's see here. A quiet Sunday morning becomes a battleground for Armageddon when a batch of bad booze contaminates the alcohol supply. Oh wow, it's inspired by Street Trash, which we already did. When a batch of bad booze contaminates the alcohol supply of the local saloon, carrying a mutated worm, the tainted tequila infects all who drink it, swiftly turning them into ravenous horde of brain-eating zombies. Zombie movie.
So, Night of the Comet?
Night of the Comet meets Street Trash.
Not Night of the Comet.
No, Night of the Creeps meets Street
Night of the
Trash.
Creeps. Yeah.
That's how, yeah, but shot on video too. So yeah, that sounds kind of fun. And Slime City Massacre is a fun little movie, so I'm sure we'll enjoy it. Oh, and next week we'll be part of doing a live stream for Donation Mania 2 to raise money to get the rest of my stuff from storage before I lose it all when they close it at the end of the month. So there we go. That's what's coming up next week. Any last words, Owen?
Nope.
All right. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.